From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Morreale and Hitch podcast, established in 2021 and now into our second season, Rob. Second season of the podcast. It's brought back by popular demand. I'm Mike Morreale. That's Rob Hitchcock. And listen, buddy, I'm happy to see you. This is the only time I see you,
Yeah.
Is on these podcasts.
How can I see you when you're in Jamaica and Florida? Look at
I want to get the hell out of here again.
Glistening right now.
I got a nice shine, and this is like 2 weeks after
for those who do not have the video part of this. Mike just came back from a extended work vacation, and very, very tanned it looks like, but he's very shiny. His forehead is very shiny right now.
Grease. It's the grease. It's the lotion. You know what? Speaking of lotion, if anyone hasn't tried the lotions at Bath and Body Works, I highly recommend them.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
So listen, pal, I don't know. There's so much stuff to talk. We can certainly start with the football aspect. I don't know if you want to start free agency. You want to start with the Super Bowl. I mean, that's kind of a cool little story, and Tom Brady retiring and that kind of stuff. But why don't we jump into the Super Bowl? What do you think of this matchup?
Well, let's jump back a little bit and go back to the wild card games, because we haven't really had a chance to talk. From the start of these playoffs, Beatsy, I have not seen better playoffs in the NFL ever. And this is, I'm talking every single game was right down to the wire. It reminded me of CFL football. There was, I think, the Cincinnati Raider game. There was 4 fourth downs and 9, and I think there was 4th and 21, and he threw a bomb in the end zone. Burrow did, and to tie it to go to overtime. Like, I'm a Raider fan, but oh my God, it was honestly these games reminded me of CFL games, and I talked to so many people about it. They're like, this is the year that, you know, it did remind a lot of people of the fast-paced CFL game. Like there was 21, 28 points scored in like 2.5 minutes. That's unheard of in the NFL.
It's unheard of.
But anyway, so every single game I thought was awesome, watching every single one of them. And this Super Bowl, SoFi Stadium. Have you seen that stadium? It's
my God.
Oh my God, we got to go.
Hey, we have to go. I can't, but I'm watching, TSN, and they got like Sanchez and some other. Why aren't you and I on this stupid show? We should be there. Get some sun, some rays.
Sanchez, what's he doing stealing money from TSN? You know what? It's the matchup. I think people have the Rams. I like the Rams. I just like their veteran team. I like but how can you not look at Cincinnati with that quarterback and Chase and the running their defense? They're that team that I have never really paid attention to because they're never on TV.
They're never on TV.
31 years, they're never made the playoffs, right? So how do you even cheer for them? You don't know. Nobody knows anything about them, and I think that's a good thing for them. You know, now people are jumping on the bandwagon because Joe Burrow's a 22 years old, 23-year-old kid, and brought a team from garbage to the Super Bowl, as opposed to Stafford, who was already a garbage team, coming to an established good team. So where's the difference? But I think they both did a great job, and I think LA the Rams are gonna take it, but I don't know. It's a tough one.
I'm rooting for Cincy. I don't know. There's just something about that underdog thing that just, the last time that Cincy was relevant was Ickey Woods and the Ickey Shuffle. Honest to God, that's like late 80s or something like that, early 90s. That's how long ago it's been since anybody gave a crap about the Bengals, except for the Bengals. The beast. Ickey swallowed Ickey. That's what happened. So.
I think he's him and Ozzy been hanging out.
Ickey's a big boy. He's more like Sticky. Things are sticking to him now. But hey, did you see, or I can't wait to see, but have you seen the promotions for the Pepsi halftime show for Super Bowl?
I have not.
Oh my God, you got to watch.
Well,
if anybody's listening.
For Eminem and all that. Nothing else.
Yeah, well, they put out like a 3-minute video with Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. It was just like, it was perfect. So I can't wait to see that too. And it just is something about, the Super Bowl does it right. Grey Cup does it right too. It's different. I've been to 2 Super Bowls. I will tell you that the difference from a fan perspective is night and day. Because when you go to a Grey Cup, you're immersed in it, right? Like you're beside the players, whether they're alumni or current players or coaches or media people. In the NFL, you ain't getting close to anybody. No. Like unless you got the corporate backing and you're there with a group of a big small Budweiser brings you in or something, you don't get close to anybody. But the spectacle is the spectacle. That's what they do, and it's going to be a spectacle this weekend. So I'm pumped about it.
It's an event.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like I know CFL, we always put on some great cups. Like it's an event as well, but You're right. It's just done differently. The marketing, the money, it's the money packing it. It's the money. Like those singers, those guys, that's our era. Like
I know, I love it.
It's good. Mary J. Blige, I love her.
I love them all. I love them all. But I'm so pumped for that. That's the coolest thing about the whole game for me. So we'll see what happens. You got the Rams, I got the Bengals. We'll see what happens next time. It'll be a friendly bet. I don't know what the heck the bet's going to be. We'll
bet an umbrella drink that you like. Those umbrella
one of those
drinks.
Fancy drinks. I like it.
Umbrella in it.
I like that. I'm on the tequila kick now, after spending so much time in Mexico. Good tequila though, not the crap you
not the one with the worm in it.
Oh dear God, no, that stuff will kill you. But hey, let's talk a bit about Tom Brady and the legacy of Tom Brady, because in my mind, there is not a better leader, quarterback, maybe football player that's played. I mean, if you look at what this guy has done, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you can't even argue. Nobody can argue. If anyone can argue about it, they can argue that the fact that there are people are upset because was in 7 Super Bowls. He's made the playoffs for 20 years, and they're tired of seeing. They're tired of seeing him in the playoffs. They're tired of seeing New England in the playoffs, right? And then of course with Tampa, but how can you not say he's the greatest quarterback ever? Like he's 44 years old.
It's insane.
Like, come on, he's a couple years younger than us, and can you imagine still playing 5 years ago?
Oh my God. And the guy's taking hits too. The people that don't like him obviously aren't fans of him, but they don't like him for the stupidest reason, just because I don't like the way he looks. I don't like that he's cocky. I don't like that he wins. Well, hey, it's too bad. Find somebody that can compete with him.
They're finding ways to not like the guy because
he's good.
Got a beautiful wife. He's got a beautiful family. He's got a lot of money. He's good looking. I guess people would hate him for that. Same reason
people hate us, except for the money part.
Oh my God!
But I just, I see that. I got as former players, we got to have a lot of respect for. I mean, you on both sides of the ball. Like the dude was legit, and he's going to go on to be a superstar after football. This guy will make a second career and make more money off the field. It's crazy.
Isn't he doing a podcast or something? Or
he's got a clothing line. He's got obviously his nutrition line. I think they want him to get on like either Fox Sports, ESPN, whatever the hell, one of those networks to do the games. They're going to pay him more than Romo, and Romo does a good job. I like Romo. Listen to him as a commentator. But anyway, the guy, everything he touches turns to gold. And speaking of quarterbacks, maybe this is a good segue into what's happening in the CFL. We lost one, but we gained one.
Did we not say this way before any of this was happening? As soon as Berkey was gone, what did we say? Masoli might be down the road. He's going that way. And he's going that way. So good for him. He's going to get a fresh start. He's still got plenty of years left, in my opinion. Oh God, yeah. And he'll add some value, and he's going to be a great asset to that team. And they're already just having him as a quarterback, and then them, free agency guys receivers looking in to go sign. Well, hey, there's an established
Ackland going there. That's a big loss for the Cats. Because Ackland's a hell of a receiver, right?
Yeah, so they're automatically, they're in contention now. You can say that with a good quarterback.
How crazy is that though, right? Because usually in those situations, there's a trade situation where you trade them to the West or you trade them to the other division. But now this went to true free agency, gets picked up by another Eastern team. Toronto's starting to stack up. They got some big name signings. We'll see how that plays out. The Cats have done a great job retaining guys, and when they've missed guys like Jagger Davis going elsewhere, then they've replaced with Micah Johnson, who's a beast. So I mean, they've done well.
Laurent, Simoni, Roll. A lot of the big pieces of the defense are back in place. And Dane, of course, yeah. So they're. I mean, it's going to be another good year, another fun year, and I think a year that's going to be opened completely up with no COVID, hopefully.
Oh, hope to God.
Alberta, as we were just talking about, Alberta and Saskatchewan or Regina are now out next week. I think they're just are going to live with it. And I think I heard some rumblings that Ontario's mid-March that we're going to be doing the same thing.
That's what they're saying. I've heard more rumblings saying that it could come earlier. I hope. I mean, I spent about 3 weeks in Mexico, which was, and funny enough, a lot of mask wearing everywhere, like the locals all even outside in the street. But you're outside so much, it was easy. It was fun. Didn't feel like I was in a lockdown. Then I went to Texas, and if you go to Texas, it's like COVID doesn't even exist. Eh?
No.
So you wear a mask in Texas, somebody wants to give you a shot. They look at you like crazy. And we went to a Mavs game. We went to this comedy club, did a bunch of stuff, just like normal people. It was very odd because I'm so conditioned to always have a mask on, to always stay away from people. And then you go there and it's like life, business as usual. And it was, I'm not going to lie, it was a breath of fresh air. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. And then I come back home and I get how many tubes up my nose and swabs, and I'm getting a little tired of it. I think we all are. Yeah.
Well, same thing when I was in Arizona in December. You go into a restaurant with your mask on and they're looking at you. You don't need to wear that.
So, they tell you.
Okay, sorry, I just came from Canada. Take it off. We don't need it. Get it off.
Oh, but hey, listen, I'm hoping the worst is behind us and better things are on the horizon. But what's going on in your world?
You were at the Mavs game. Did you see Ruben?
Ruben who?
Cuban.
Oh, Mark Cuban. I didn't see him, but I tell you this. I don't know if you watch, but Luka Doncic, what a basketball player this guy is.
Yeah, I heard he wants to come to your league.
Oh, he's going to come. We're going to pay him the big bucks.
Pay the big bucks to come.
But it was a cool experience being there, because when you're in Texas, for those people who haven't been, everything's bigger and better. That's no joke. Like they do everything times 100. But being in that venue was cool, and seeing an NBA game and somewhere other than Toronto or whatever is kind of cool to see how they do things. But it was a great experience. I want to go back. I miss it. I don't like the weather here, but this is where we live, eh? Yeah. How do we choose this?
Well, you came home to this because you missed a lot of the snow.
I know.
Did your brother shovel your driveway?
Are you kidding me? So this is what happened with my brother. So my brother, I said, listen, if you need my car, use my car. My cars are sitting there. They need to be driven anyways, right? So he obviously wanted to drive my wife's car, which is like a larger SUV. So he used that all the time. I was getting texts from my buddies saying, "Hey, Greg's really loving your car," because he's everywhere he goes, he's driving that car. But the only shoveling he did was from my front door to the car. Everything else, forget about it. So my brother-in-law, I guess, drove by one day and said, "What the hell?" And actually got out there. He shoveled all the snow, and Greg watched him from the window across the street.
Of course.
But when I got home, I said, "Listen, what are you going to do now? You're not going to have the car, eh?" And he's like, he brushes me off, and then he tells me my car's a piece of crap. My other car. He goes, "Yeah, your other car's garbage." I said, "It is, eh? Took you from A to B, though, didn't it? That's garbage." I'm like, "All right, back to you walking, buddy." So yeah, not a lot of, but he did take in my mail. That's what he did. He probably opened some and took the ones that have, checks in them, which are few and far between.
I hope you changed your pillowcases and stuff.
I don't trust him for nothing. Eh?
No.
I don't know what happened in that house, but something happened.
Change everything, clean
everything. Everything.
Well, that's all right. Well, I'm just getting over COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it finally after 2 years. My wife.
But you're okay. The family's okay.
Yeah, we're all fine. Just a bit of a dry cough, and then felt like Iron Man, that thing right in the middle of your chest, dry cough. And I had a bit of a headache for, 3 or 4 days. You still have it. It lingers. Like it's no worse than a cold, but sometimes you get tired, and so I'm out of it. I came out of it.
Now you're superhuman, right? You've got it. So you got the antibodies. Plus you've been stabbed a few times, so you got I tried to get a PCR test at the hospital just to get it, so that if I do travel, it's in the system. Well, I book it online. I go by the hospital. They have a little tent area you can drive. You don't even get out of your car.
And lady says, what line of work are you in? I said, does it matter? And she's like, well, yeah, you're an essential worker. I said, no, not really. She goes, well, we're only testing essential workers, police officers, nurses, blah, blah, blah. And I said, so I just booked this online. She goes, we're not doing that anymore. You have to go to Shoppers Drug Mart or a pharmacy and get it done. So I said, oh, okay. So I guess my booking didn't. She goes, no, it's okay. It's all good. See you later. So I left. And this was Sunday, like 2 days after I tested, or a day after I tested on last Sunday. So I said, so how do I prove it? Yeah. So I got to go, and I tried to do it online with Shoppers, and it's like, it puts you through 30 different areas you got to go through, and it says you got to pay $40 now for an antigen. I said, I'm not traveling for 30 hours. I'm not going anywhere, but I know it stays near. I need to get it in now as a positive. You need to get it writing
so that when you go, you can say I was previously exposed, and then you don't have all the other BS because you're going to test positive.
I'm in the midst of doing that, but at least I'm out. God. At least I'm out. Have you had it yet? At least you're out.
Nope.
No, not gone with.
Haven't had it. Don't want it.
Just get it.
You think I should get it just for fun?
I had a buddy who's he said to me, he goes, listen, I got a friend, and his son lives in Philadelphia, and he can't really go over the border because if he gets COVID over there, he's got to stay. He's got to come back. He's got 14 days or 10 days he's got to quarantine for. He goes, can he come over to your house and you can cough in his face or drink some beer and give him your beer? This is legit. He was going to come over. And I said, oh, I'm okay with it. If he wants to sit in my garage, I can cough all over him. He goes, he wants you to cough all over him. He didn't end up coming, but this was a true story. I was like,
this is what this has become, because there's so many now, like, rules that the only way to live is to make sure you adhere to like these certain things, and sometimes it's impossible. Like now, if you get COVID and you can't get a PCR, then how do you prove that you have it? Because you're going to test positive for a while, so you can't go. Oh my God, it's a nightmare.
It is.
Almost over.
What's going on in your world?
Well, you know what, buddy? Been busy, back for a bit. I'm doing a little traveling the end of the month again, just for work, for basketball. But had a funny story the other night. The wife was at home, and she sends me this picture. She's like, of a bottle of wine. She opens. She goes, who gave you this wine? I'm like, why? I said, that's the good stuff, because I knew what bottle. I didn't tell her what it was, but it said right on it. So anyway, I'll get to the point later. She goes, I poured myself this wine. First of all, the cork cracked in half, and I had to push in I said, well, you must really want that glass of wine. But the cork falls in the bottom. It's floating in the bottom. She goes, I poured myself a drink. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever had. I threw up in the sink. Whoever gave this to you, because she thought a coworker gave it to me. She's like, I don't know if your coworkers like you, because this wine is horrible. Garbage. And when I look at the picture, it's a bottle of wine from Mike O'Shea's wedding in 1999. It's 22 years old. It was made probably with his feet 22 years ago. It's not a brand name wine. No. It says, Mike and Rocher, it celebrates his wedding.
They gave out 300 of them, right? So it cost them $1.
I kept them just for a joke. I kept the bottle for a joke, and somehow my wife opened the bottle 22 years later, drank a sip, and threw up. So I texted O'Shea, showed the picture. He goes, that's so fantastic. That bugger's still getting me 22 years later. Well, he didn't get me. He got the wife, which I thought was funny.
Oh, you would have known better, though, if you wouldn't have had the glass.
I think I may have set the bottle up nice, so that she can just pull it off the shelf. But I thought she would read the label. Yeah. But she missed that part. Oh,
not a California cab.
Oh, disturbing. Disturbing.
So we were supposed to have a guest on today, but I think this person bailed on us. He's avoiding us, I think.
This is becoming a regular occurrence, I think. I think he's maybe a tad bit scared. Yeah. And I was thinking, that this guy who, everybody in Ticat land will know, he's got very famous parents. The parents are very famous. One is Kim Mitchell that sings Patio Lanterns. The other one is Joni Mitchell, who sings, Pave Paradise, put up a parking lot. No, we're joking. Those aren't his parents, but those would be pretty cool parents to have. He's got a pretty cool set themselves, though, but he's avoiding us.
Yeah, he is. He's too busy with the HSG. What is it? We got Hamilton Sports Group, they're called now, I think.
Yes. Well, he was supposed to return my call Oh, probably about a week and a half ago about something. That hasn't happened yet, but this is okay.
This is what big timers do, right?
He's big time now.
Yeah.
He's big time now. He used to drive people around. Now he's getting driven around. This is what happens.
Think he's going to be calling us to do some stuff this year? I don't think so. He's going to get someone else to call. He doesn't have to do that anymore. Big shot. Well, we're going to have him on hopefully next week, and we got to get him. We got to get him.
We will. We got to line up. We're still working through what this show is going to be like up until the season. So we'll probably be on every couple of weeks and with some updates and this and that. But sprinkling some guests. We're still taking requests. Taking requests. I haven't looked. We're not getting any, but we're taking some.
I haven't looked any on the reviews, but I know that the last review we did, the last show that I did that you weren't on, that was with
very good.
Yeah, that was really good. I had a lot of good feedback from that, but there was a lot of people that listened to that, which was nice. Still can't believe it, but holy cow. Been
crazy,
a while.
Man.
Hey, did you see? I don't know if you watched CH this morning, but
no.
Pete Diakowski was on. What a burger! He was on. They were talking about because he went to LSU and Burrow went to LSU, and there's an offensive Whitmore, I think his name is, offensive lineman for the Rams that he actually went to school with. He's 40. This old lineman's 40 years old, starting 40 and starting. God. Hasn't missed a game. He's got 240 something games. Anyways, Pete was on there sitting up like this talking. He reeks smartness.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, he's Canada's smartest man, right? But
that's right.
Like when he talks, but.
He talks at a different level.
He does.
He doesn't talk like you and I with a fake Italian accents.
No.
He talks like at a different level.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has any friends. See, that's when you're that smart, you just don't have a lot of friends.
You can't because you just be judging everybody.
Smart. And then everything you say is condescending. And then you don't want to be around the guy because he's too smart. I try like to hang around friends like you where I feel adequate.
Yeah.
And that's why we have David Butko behind the scenes because he makes us feel better too.
Speaking of David, you should come on and let us know if you're doing any pre's.
Look at David; he's got a collared shirt on. Look at Hitch and I. We're very casual. You are all done up. Do you have any pants on? I guess that's probably the biggest question.
You can't see the track pants.
Smart, smartly done. Smartly done. How's your last month or so been? How would you handle the snowfall? How about that? I've got to figure out. That massive snowfall, did you shovel the snow?
Yeah, it was terrible.
You did, eh?
It was the first, because this is the first kind of year I've lived, not with my parents, and I've had to shovel.
Ooh.
I didn't know you had to shovel like right after the snow. I waited 3 days, like when I needed the car. You know how heavy that snow was? Like it was all wet. Just like I was just doing it was terrible. So
David, Rob and I are actually grown-ups, so we actually know how heavy snow is and know how to shovel snow, which is a good place to start. So this is your first time snow shoveling, basically, in your life?
First time I had to, when I was a kid and when your parents say, go shovel the snow, you're like, I got to get this done and go tobogganing or something. But now it's like, I got to shovel snow because I got to get this car out of here.
Because you have a life. You actually have to move somewhere.
I've got someone I can introduce you to there, Butko. My neighbor, her parents her father is a retired psychiatrist. He's about 70 something years old. She's got to be in her 40s, came from Toronto. She's got some issues. She's not all there. But she comes over. She's all there, but she's got some drug problems. Okay. So I'll leave it at that. So she comes over to the house like 3 days ago. I see her walking over. I'm just outside. And just after the snowfall, I'm cleaning off my car, and she walks over. She goes, "Excuse me," and I said, "She goes, I have to shovel my walkway." I said, "Okay," and she goes, "I don't know how to do it." I'm like, "You don't know how to shovel?" And she's like, "No, I've never shoveled before." And her father is sitting in the garage. I can see him with the big gown on.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you take your shovel, you put it in the snow, and then you shoot the snow over your shoulder." That's what I told her to do. She goes back. I watch her. It's like 100 yards away. She gets it, and the snow's so heavy she couldn't even throw it over her shoulder. She's trying to throw it over her shoulder.
You're gonna break her back, for God's sakes.
So, David, I got someone for you if you want to meet somebody.
Yeah. You guys could work together on the finer art of show.
She might pre with you. She might pre with you.
That's a good idea. You may have something going there, buddy. I like this. I like this idea. So, well, Bucko, you can go now unless you want to hang out. I mean, it's entirely up to you. Well, there you go.
Hang out.
So listen, I was out with my buddies last night for one of my buddies' wife's birthday. We went to this nice restaurant in Burlington. As a matter of fact, there's a new kind of condo / hotel on the end of Brant Street. Anyways, beautiful. New Horizon built it. Jeff Bacon, huge Ticat fan, etc. Anyways, at the bottom there is there's a new restaurant there, Isabel's. You went there to eat. That's not even the reason for my story. But we started just talking about vacations and traveling, whatever. And then my buddies brought up the time we went to Acapulco back in the day when we were playing. But it was a trip where they came and met us. But I went with a bunch of my Mac guys, but also with Val St. Germain. And people who know Val, who we played with here at Hamilton, who we used to call like the hairless buffalo. He is a big man. He likes to have copious amounts of beers, and he can handle them like no one I've ever seen before in my life.
Oh, Greg.
Fair enough. I stand corrected. You're right. Pound for pound, you're right.
Okay.
But Val is a big man with a big head and a big body and something else. So, we were down, and I totally forgot about this story, but I recalled it once they started saying it. So, when you're down there and you're spring breaking, it's just booze and party and fun and shots and whatever contests. So they had a mechanical bull at the place we were staying. So Val's a big man. I think he's like, 335 and big. So he got on the bull, and in true typical fashion, he had 2 beers in his hands. He wasn't even holding on to the bull, and he had on a mini sombrero. So if you can imagine, with this big round face,
it was a regular sombrero. Just fine.
It was a regular sombrero, but his head is so big and puffy from the 45 beers he just had, and he's sitting on the mechanical bull, and he broke the mechanical bull because it wouldn't go. It was like, and he just sat on the bull. But that picture in my mind of him shirtless with 2 beers, a mini sombrero, and sitting on a mechanical bull was it just, we know him. So we've seen that many times.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
just one of the many interesting people that we've had the pleasure of being with in Hamilton.
Yes, very much so. And yes, he could drink.
Oh boy. But the happiest drinker. Yeah. Always in a good mood. He'd eat the occasional hot dog with mayonnaise on it, but always in a positive mood.
His head circumference was about 30 inches around, but when he drank, it was 40. Like, honest to God, it was the biggest head you've ever seen. We should get a picture of him and show him. But when he drank, remember the nights that he couldn't put his helmet on for walkthrough the next day? Because we had a game on a Friday, then we'd get up and we had to watch film, and then we'd have to do our rundown day the next day. Some coach made us put our helmets on. He couldn't put his helmet on the next day. That's how much booze he drank. Remember that?
His head would just expand and get so bloated. Oh big. My God. I just love that man. I haven't seen him. He's in Ottawa now. I got to see him next time I go there. He's doing quite well.
Last I heard, he's doing another financial. He's doing a bunch of financials. I don't know if he's with a bank. I think he's with a bank, but
I think at one point he started at one of the
CIBC or something like that.
I can't remember. Not Ernst & Young. One of those. That's accounting, but one of those darn things. But anyways, it just a funny story. And then Lapo called me yesterday or the day before, Paul Lapalisse, just to catch up. My name came up because him and Berkey were talking, and your name came up, and Berkey told him to listen to the show. So he goes, I listened to the show. He goes, unbelievable. He goes, the stories about Electric Joe, Side Door Gary. Then he started naming some other guys that I totally forgot about. I'm going to forget them now. I got to text them. Yeah. But he started going into stories about, I think it was the one guy, Mikey, who ran all the cables, the telephone guy, Mikey, and he ran all the cables, and they were trying to put together the deep net, that, what's the name of that system where we used to watch film? It's changed. It's called Exos now, but it was something else before. And he wasn't paid. He fell asleep in the meeting, and Electric Joe was there. And it just reminded me of the characters. The characters are just, I'll never forget them.
You see, if we put a little bit of work in this and we just start calling some guys and saying,
That's what we need to do.
Give us some stories, because we've said a lot that we've been around, but there might have been some stories that maybe we weren't around that we heard of.
He rhymed off so many things that, of course, I forgot already within 5 minutes. But I'm like, these are the things we got to bring some guys, because the guys they may have different perspectives of the same story. Mm-hmm. Right. Because if I bring on Adriano Belli and I ask him about the story about, going to the bar after a game in Calgary, where I gave him the caca, he'll have a different view of that than my particular view of that as anyone else. Yep. But there's lots of those. There are lots of those out there. So we have to do a better job of getting some people on. Yep. We do.
Well, we've tried.
I know. Why don't people want to talk to us?
I don't know. Actually, you know what? I don't think we really have tried.
I'm not sure we tried very hard.
It's David. It's Cadeau. Cadeau's been asking people for us. I think we'd have to take the initiative.
I think we do too.
And maybe as soon as it comes from us, like if we call maybe Matt or Scott.
I think some people are scared, though. I think some people are scared that we might put them into talk about things they don't want to talk about.
But I think that they know that this show is taped, that they can just shut it off whenever they want. That's not going on.
They edit out. This is what's left over.
Yeah. But we did a full show. We did a full show with Scott Mitchell and 17 seconds of video. That's all we have.
We actually had a show with Scott, but we had to edit everything out. So that's why he's not a guest.
Yeah.
But what's up with you, Bucko, the rest of the day?
Well, I'll be editing this. This will be up as soon as you know it. But I was thinking, you guys were saying O'Shea might not want to do a show during the season, but don't you think maybe he would want to do one during the off season? What do you think?
That's why we
got you.
Yeah.
That and for the guitar playing. Is that your guitar?
Yes. Well, it's my girlfriend's, but
do you mind playing a few chords
for everyone right now?
Well, there's no one listens to this show anyway, so don't worry about it.
It'd be my dream.
A little Deep Purple.
Here's G.
Nice.
And I'm working on the rest of it. So
well, what a great start. That was riveting.
You know what? Bring your girlfriend on. Let's see her. Let's let her.
Bring her on. Let's play some real music. We'll have a sing along. And when we do the promo for this, please don't put that into it, okay? No one's going to tune in.
No
one's going to tune into your G chord.
No. Hey, we've got a new puppy, eh?
Oh, buddy, I can't say. Can I say this now? Well, no one listens. I'm getting a puppy too. I can't. Really? I caved, bud.
Did you?
I caved.
What kind?
It's a Boston Terrier Pug mix.
That's a rat.
You're a rat.
It's a rat.
What are you getting? I wanted something small. I didn't want a poodle.
So we picked him up 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, he's a golden doodle. So the father I
looked at them.
The father is a standard poodle, and the mother is a golden doodle, which is a part poodle, part retriever. So 0 hair.
Nice.
You should see him. I should bring him in here.
Big, small, what?
He's going to be about 60. Yeah.
Oh, so it's going to be big dog.
Yeah,
like fairly big.
Cooper, our other one we have, he's like 25. So the other one is Cooper's still giving it to him right now because he's just 11 weeks old. But as soon as that one gets a little bit bigger, I think he's going to take over.
So how did you find this dog? Because finding dogs now is not easy and they're expensive.
Went on Kijiji, and we've been looking for a while. We thought we'd do it last year, but they were like $4,000 for the puppies. And we thought, you know what, forget it. We're going to wait. And then this came up. She went on Kijiji, and there's a breeder out of Norwich, just like near London.
Yeah.
And they just put out, I think there was 8 puppies on, and we were the first ones to get on. So they did a FaceTime. They showed us all of them, and we picked one, and then we drove down and picked them up. $2,200.
That's good, bud.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
His name's Murphy.
Murphy Brown.
Yeah, he is a cutie though.
You like this dog? I could tell. Look at you smiling. How happy you are talking about your new puppy.
Well, he's a cutie. What are you gonna do?
Is this what happens when you and I get older? We need like dogs and puppies because we're going senile and old.
Yeah, somebody
to love and care for us.
Yep, you got it.
Butko, come over. Rubber backs. Actually, we're going to go to your house, Butko. We're going to play. Your girlfriend's going to play a little sing along. Rob and I'll come over, do a little pre with you, hang out, enjoy ourselves, get on the mic, edit this video to look even better.
The cats and the dogs all around us.
You have cats too?
Yeah, I got 2 cats.
And dogs or no?
No dogs here. No.
So we'll bring the dogs. You provide the cats and the pre, and we're all good. Okay?
Yep.
It sounds like a match made in heaven.
I agree.
What time is it? What time do we start this today? Oh, we were half an hour off. We're at the top of the hour.
11:30. Yeah, we've been 35 minutes. That's good.
I think it's good. This is it. This is how we decide. We decide real time that the end of this show is now here.
We will for our next show. I'm not sure we're going to do this in the next couple of weeks, but we will have a guest, and we're going to have a few more things. I think we're going to talk to some of our ex-players and ex-coaches, and we're going to get some stories because
I agree.
We haven't ran out by any means. We do have a lot of stories. We got to watch what we say with certain people because they're in different positions right now. Some are presidents of operations of football teams and head coaches, and we just got to watch what we say about people.
The funny thing is when you and I are talking, we feel like no one's listening to us. So we kind of are more carefree than most. But some people over there, they're still a little uptight. We're going to work on that. David Butko, great having you on. Rob, always a pleasure. I'm Mike Morreale. This is the Morreale and Hitch Show on the Ticats Audio Network. See you next time.
Peace.